Greetings everyone. I am Dr. S. Francisca Rosario, Assistant Professor from the Department of BCA, Arignar Arts and Science College, Krishnagiri. Today we are going to be talking about entity relationship model and its various components. We will have a brief introduction and look at basic concepts of database management systems. And then we look at all the components that make the ER diagram and the roles they play. We will talk about keys and then we will look at an example to see how all of it ties together. We will also look at the pros and cons at end. Database is a collection of related data. Database management system is a computerized system that enables users to create and maintain a database. Conceptual schema is a clear description of the data requirement of the users and includes detailed descriptions of the entity types and relationships and constraints. ER model is a conceptual data modeling technique used in database management system to define the logical structure of data. It forms the foundation for designing a relational schema. Components of an ER model. Entity represents a real-world object, concept or thing about which data is stored. Examples of entity are car, house and employee. Entities are represented in rectangle symbols. An attribute defines a specific property or characteristic of an entity. For example, the entity car, we have the attribute as car model. Similarly, for the entity house, we have the attribute as house square feet, and the employee entity have the attribute as employee name. In database management systems, attributes can be classified into several types. They are simple and composite attributes, single valued and multi-valued attributes, stored and derived attributes, and then key attributes. Attributes are represented as ellipses in the entity relationship model. Simple attribute is the one that cannot be subdivided into smaller parts. For example, if we consider the student entity, the attributes are roll number, class and age. Roll number, class and age, these attributes cannot be subdivided into subparts. So they are considered to be the simple attributes. Composite attributes are composed of one or more simple attributes. For example, address is an attribute. This address attribute can be subdivided into smaller parts such as street, city, state and country. Single valued attributes are those attributes that consist of a single value for each entity instance and can't store more than one value. For example, if we consider the student entity, each student can have only one roll number, one age, and have single date of birth, and you have only one gender. Similarly, in multi-valued attributes, each and every attribute can possess more than multiple values. For example, a student can have many mobile numbers as well as he can have many email IDs. So they are considered to be the multi-valued attributes, and these multi-valued attributes are represented with concentric elliptical shape. Derived attributes are those attributes whose values can be derived from the values of other attributes. They are always dependent upon other attributes for their values. For example, in the student entity, there is an attribute namely age. The age of a student can be derived from the date of birth. So, date of birth is said to be the stored attribute and age is said to be the derived attribute. Values of stored attributes remain constant and fixed for an entity instance, and also they help in deriving the derived attributes. Relationship define how different tables in a database are logically connected. There are three primary types of relationships in DBMS. They are one-to-one relationship, one-to-many or many-to-one relationship, many-to-many relationship, and they may be represented as diamond symbol. In a one-to-one relationship, a person has only one Aadhaar card. There is only one relationship, so it is said to be the one-to-one relationship. And one-to-many relationship, each customer places several orders. A person can place more than one orders. Such a type of relationship is known as one-to-many relationship. And many-to-many relationship, a student can enroll in more courses, and more than one course can be obtained by a student. Here, enroll is the relationship. Student and courses are considered to be the entities. There are more than one entities participating in this relation. Keys in ER model, there are three types of keys available: primary key, candidate key, and foreign key. Primary key is a key which is used to uniquely identify a particular record in the database. It should not contain any null value or duplicate value. Candidate key in a database is a minimal set of attributes that can uniquely identify each row in a table. Each candidate key must be unique and irreducible. Foreign key is an attribute in one table that refers to the primary key in another table. These are the symbols which we are using to represent the entities. Rectangle symbol represents entity, ellipse represents attributes, diamonds represents relationship, lines represents links to entity sets or entity sets to relationships, double ellipse represents multi-valued attributes, and primary key can be represented by a underline inside the ellipse. This is an ER diagram. Here we have two entities. One is the member entity and another one is the book entity. Member entity have attributes such as member ID and name. And name can be further divided into two attributes, first name and last name. And book is another one entity. It has two attributes, book ID and title. Since book ID is underlined, it is considered to be the primary key. Member and book are related by the relationship known as borrows. Here borrows is a relationship and it have two attributes, namely date time borrowed and date time returned. Date time borrowed is represented by dotted lines. That represents it is a derived attribute. So this is the entire ER diagram. Advantages of entity relationship model: it is easy to understand, it allows concurrent access to multiple users, and then here there is efficient data access and retrieval by providing indexing and query optimization techniques, and then it enforces integrity constraints to maintain valid data. Limitations of the ER model: despite its strength, the ER model and DBMS approach also come with certain limitations. One limitation is cost, as implementing and maintaining a DBMS requires significant investment in hardware, software, and skilled personnel, which may not be practical for smaller organizations. The model can become complex when dealing with very large databases or advanced applications where the number of entities, relationships, and constraints make the ER diagram difficult to interpret and maintain. Additionally, the ER model by itself does not explicitly represent all data constraints such as business rules, temporal constraints, or advanced integrity rules. In conclusion, a database management system serves as the backbone of modern data handling, providing efficient storage, retrieval, and management of information. By ensuring data integrity, security, and scalability, DBMS enables organizations to make informed decisions and streamline operations. As data continues to grow in importance, the role of DBMS remains vital in shaping reliable, flexible, and future ready information systems. Thank you.